You don't owe anyone your energy. Not your ex, not your fake friend, not your so-called family. Silence is your weapon now, darling. And guess what? In 2025, the loudest move you can make is no move at all. Let them wonder. Let them whisper. You're not toxic. You're just done. Let's talk about how to disappear from their life without a warning and without regret. Stop explaining, stop justifying, just go. How many times have you sat there, typing and deleting that long message, trying to explain to someone why you feel hurt, why you're distancing yourself, why you can't do it anymore? How many nights have you rehearsed the same conversation in your head, hoping they'll understand if you just word it right? Let me say it loud and clear. If someone cared, they'd never make you explain your pain. Your feelings are not a debate. They're not. A courtroom case. You don't need evidence to leave someone who made you feel like you were never enough. Think about the last time you over-explained yourself to someone. Maybe it was a friend who only called when they needed something. You told them, I feel used. They replied, you're overthinking. You explained. You justified. You tried. You must have been binging. You weren't taking enough care of yourself. You told them I loved them before, but you told them I loved them before. And still, they didn't care. You reinforced them by always being the caregiver, not because your words were wrong, but because they never wanted to understand. That moment, that was your cue to walk away, not explain. Let me give you an image. Picture a queen sitting on a throne. Do you think she stands up every time someone questions her crown? No. She sits in silence because her presence explains it all. Your value isn't proven through speeches. It's felt through your absence. You don't owe anyone a PowerPoint presentation of your pain. In fact, the more you explain, the more they think you're unsure of your decision. Stop talking. Start acting. Actions scream louder than apologies and essays. You're not a book for people to flip through when it's convenient. You're not a movie they pause and resume. You are a force, and sometimes that force needs to exit silently without a single word. I want you to remember a time someone made you feel guilty for wanting peace. Maybe it was a partner who invalidated your emotions, telling you you're too sensitive or always starting drama. You stayed, hoping that if you just explained better, they'd see it. But they didn't. And they won't. Because some people don't want to understand you. They just want access to you. When someone disrespects your boundaries, don't give them a lecture. Give them silence. Let them feel the weight of your absence. That silence, it's not empty. It's full of the strength you were holding back. Let them talk to the wall. Let them wonder where you went. Don't break your own heart trying to save someone who wouldn't even throw you a life jacket. You don't need to explain why you're tired of being the only one giving, why you're choosing peace over chaos, why you're leaving the dinner table when they keep serving you pain. You just need to go. Quietly, gracefully, powerfully. Do you explain to people why you lock your door at night? No. Because it's a boundary. It's protection. Your emotional door deserves access to your inner world. Some people only knock to see if they still can. Don't open the door to repeat offenders of your peace. Stop trying to be the good girl who doesn't hurt feelings. You are not a doormat dressed in kindness. You are allowed to leave without making a scene. You are allowed to disappear without a farewell speech. You are allowed to protect your peace, even if they call you cold. Because guess what? The strongest women don't burn bridges. They just stop crossing them. Quietly, boldly, unapologetically. When your soul is tired, you don't always need to slam the door. Sometimes, the most powerful exit is the one they never hear. The kind where you slip away, not because you're weak, but because you're finally wise enough to realize not everyone deserves front row seats to your life. In a world obsessed with closure and confrontation, there is something divinely elegant about walking away in silence, without a single heads up. You don't owe people a countdown to your absence. If they didn't respect your presence, they don't deserve a preview of your departure. Think about that friend you always showed up for, the one who forgot your birthday but remembered to ask you for favors. The one who suddenly became busy the moment you needed help. You waited for the right time to tell them how hurt you felt. But that time never came. So you stopped texting, you stopped showing up, and slowly you became a ghost in their reality. That wasn't weakness, that was healing. Sometimes detachment is an act of love for yourself, not hatred for others. There's something sacred about disappearing from spaces that once felt like home, but turned into battlefields. You don't need to announce it, just go. Like the sun setting quietly after a long, scorching day. No apology, no drama, just grace. Emotional detachment doesn't mean you didn't care. It means you cared too much for too long, and now you're choosing yourself. Remember the ex who kept breaking you in pieces? Then came back saying, "I miss us"? You tried. You forgave. You explained. Again and again. Until one day, it clicked. Love is not supposed to be painful every day. So you didn't send a goodbye paragraph. You just stopped replying. You stopped crying. You detached. And that silence, that was you finally breathing. When you detach without warning, it's not about revenge. It's about evolution. You're not playing games. You're protecting your peace. You're not ghosting. You're healing in private. Let them feel the shift in your energy. Let them realize, too late, that silence speaks louder than your words ever could. There was a time when you begged people to stay. You over-explained, over-gave, over-loved, and they underappreciated. Now, you don't beg, you don't chase, you observe, you detach. Like a queen standing on a balcony, watching people walk away, not because she pushed them, but because she refused to kneel for them anymore. Think of your energy like a luxury perfume. Rare, rich, expensive. Smell it. And once someone disrespects it, you don't splash it again. You remove it. Quietly. Let them notice the difference. Let them miss what they thought they could always return to. Maybe it was a co-worker who always belittled your ideas in front of others, but smiled when it was just the two of you. You didn't confront them. You just stopped engaging. Stopped caring for their opinion. Stopped being emotionally available. That silent shift in your energy, that was your power returning. You don't need to scream, block, or explain. You simply become unavailable. Your time, your laughter, your support, it becomes sacred again. You don't slam doors. You close them gently and walk away, never looking back. Sometimes the best way to teach people how to treat you is to leave them wondering where they lost you. Not through noise, but through the elegance of silence. You become invisible to the ones who made you feel unseen. That is not cruelty. That is alignment. They'll feel your absence in rooms they thought they owned. They'll search for the version of you that tolerated their behavior, and they won't find her because she left quietly, and this time she's not coming back. Switch your routine, not just your number. Some people think cutting ties means blocking a number or unfriending someone on social media. But healing isn't just digital. It's deeply physical, emotional, and spiritual. You can delete their contact and still be haunted by memories every time you pass the same cafe, wear the same perfume, or listen to that playlist. True detachment doesn't start with your phone. It starts with your routine, with your habits, with your life. If they knew where to find you, if they could still predict your moves, you haven't really left. You're just pretending you did. When you switch your routine, you're not just avoiding people, you're rewriting the script they once had access to. Let's say you always took the same morning walk around your block, and that one person knew exactly where to accidentally run into you. Stop. Choose a new path. Wake up earlier. Go a different direction. Let the wind take you where they can't reach. Let your life become unpredictable again. Because your peace is worth more than their closure. Remember that favorite coffee shop where you used to meet him every Sunday? The one with the red cups and jazz in the background. You kept going there, thinking you could reclaim it. But every sip still tasted like a memory. One day, instead of walking in, you kept driving. You tried a new place, sat by the window and smiled. Because for the first time, the coffee wasn't shared with a ghost. That wasn't just a location change. That was a soul shift. You can't move forward if your life still whispers their name in every corner. Switch your routine. Take yourself on different dates. Visit bookstores instead of bars. Cook a new recipe instead of scrolling through your old photos. Change the playlist. Dance to songs that don't remind you of anyone but your future self. Let your routine become a mirror that reflects your evolution, not your heartbreak. Maybe you used to call her every night before bed. Now those 10 minutes feel like silence screaming into your soul. Don't fill the void with another person. Fill it with purpose. Read, journal, meditate. Pour into yourself what you kept giving away for free. Let the silence become your sanctuary, not your punishment. Changing your number might stop them from calling, but changing your patterns will stop you from waiting for the call. It's not just about cutting people off. It's about cutting the energetic cord that tied your identity to them. Reinventing yourself isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's in the quiet things, like choosing a different seat at your favorite restaurant, wearing bold lipstick instead of the nude shades they liked, or spending your weekend alone instead of tolerating fake company. And here's the hard truth. If you don't change your routine, they will always know how to come back. They know where you go, what time you log on, who you talk to, and they will use it. Don't just disappear, become untraceable. Not out of fear, but out of self-respect. When a woman starts switching her routine, she's not hiding. She's evolving. She's stepping into a version of herself that no longer performs for familiar pain. She's building new neural pathways, new habits, and new standards. The version of you that tolerated their bare minimum, she doesn't live here anymore. She left at 6 a.m., changed her schedule, and rewrote her life without leaving a map. So don't just block their number, block their access to your old life. Rewrite your story in a way that if they ever looked for you again, they wouldn't even recognize the woman you've become. Because she isn't trying to be found. She's finally found herself. Don't block. Let them see you glow. Blocking is easy. Healing is power. Anyone can press a button and cut off a connection. But the real flex, letting them watch you rise while they sit in the same place they left you, thinking you'd stay broken. There is something poetic, almost divine, about turning your pain into power. Publicly, silently, beautifully. Not through revenge, not through words, through presence, through peace, through becoming the person they never imagined you'd grow into without them. You don't have to block them. Let them scroll through your stories and see the woman they never imagined you'd grow into without them. You don't have to block them. Let them walk through your stories and see the woman they never imagined. Let them watch you smile. Let them cry. Let them laugh. Let them find. Let them see you wear outfits they told you didn't suit you. Let them hear your laughter echo in rooms they never wanted you to enter. Your glow is not for them. It's for you. But don't dim it just to protect their comfort. Shine harder, shine louder. There was a time you sat on the floor, crying into your pillow, checking if they viewed your story, if they cared. They didn't. And now? Now you post not for validation, but for... Now you post not for validation, but for vibration. Because your frequency has changed. You're no longer trying to be seen. You're seen by yourself. And the people who broke you, let them choke on your radiance. Silently, elegantly, without a single curse word. Think about that one person who said, "You'll never find better than me." Let them watch you build better. Not out of spite, but out of truth. You found peace. You found healing. You found wholeness. That's the kind of glow they can't unsee. You don't need to clap back. You don't need to prove anything. Just live. Just evolve. Let your transformation do the talking. Because growth is the most powerful revenge, and it comes with receipts. Maybe you were once afraid to post that photo, scared they'd judge or compare. But now, you post without hesitation. That photo of you on the beach, barefoot and wild, that shot of you in the boardroom, bold and commanding. That video of you dancing, laughing, thriving, that's your truth now. That's your power. They had a chance to grow with you, but they chose to play games. Now let them sit in silence while you shine unapologetically. Let's be real. Sometimes blocking gives them the illusion they still affect you. But when you keep them unblocked, let them have the front row seat to your comeback tour. They feel the sting of what they lost. And the best part? You didn't do it to hurt them. You did it to heal you. Remember the girl who always played small to keep the peace? She's gone. Now you walk into rooms like you own them. You speak like every word matters. You show up like your energy is expensive. Because it is. Let them see that. Let them witness your evolution and regret underestimating your worth. Your success doesn't scream, it radiates. When you stop blocking your own light just to keep others comfortable, that's when the real magic happens. You're not trying to win them back. You're not trying to make them jealous. You're simply becoming everything they feared you would be without them. Powerful, confident, unshakable. And no, you don't need to throw shade. You are the sun now. Let them scroll. Let them watch. Let them feel the warmth of a glow they no longer have access to. Because that's what happens when a woman stops begging and starts becoming. She doesn't burn bridges. She builds empires with the fire they left behind. Protect your aura like it's royalty. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. Your aura is sacred. It's the invisible crown you wear, the light that surrounds you before you even speak a word. And when you treat it like it's ordinary, people will handle you carelessly. But when you carry yourself like your presence is a privilege, people either rise to meet your frequency or fall away on their own. You don't need to chase, beg, or explain. You just need to protect your aura like it's the throne you sit on. You ever notice how drained you feel after talking to certain people? It's not a coincidence. It's not just a bad day. It's your spirit telling you they're pulling from your light without pouring anything back. Stop giving front row seats to people who wouldn't clap for you if it didn't benefit them. Stop allowing people to linger in your life who only come around when it's convenient. You are not an open bar. You are a velvet rope VIP room of grace, wisdom, and growth. Imagine your energy like perfume. Rare, expensive, unforgettable. You wouldn't let just anyone reach for the bottle and spray it freely, would you? So why are you letting people touch your peace, your softness, your time, without earning it? You don't need to be rude to set boundaries. You just need to honor your aura so deeply that it filters out those who were never meant to breathe in your essence. There's a woman who used to be everyone's go-to. Always answering every call. Always there to rescue, to listen, to fix. But one day, she woke up and realized her soul was tired. She stopped being available to people who only reached out in chaos. She stopped apologizing for needing rest. And guess what? She didn't lose anyone who truly valued her. She only lost the leeches disguised as friends. That's not loss, that's alignment. When you protect your aura, your silence becomes louder than any argument. You don't engage in drama. You don't explain your absence. You don't justify your glow up. You simply live in a state of grace that speaks volumes. Let people wonder why they no longer have access. Let them sit in the silence they created when they disrespected your energy. You owe no one access to your light, especially if they only showed up when it was convenient for them. Think of your aura like royalty. Would a queen allow just anyone to walk into her palace? No, there are gates, guards, protocol. So why are you letting people trample through your mental space like it's a public park? Create boundaries. Speak softly, but carry presence. When someone disrespects your peace once, that's a mistake. When they do it twice, that's a pattern. Protect your aura because it's your most valuable currency in a world addicted to chaos. There's strength in solitude. There's power in saying, not everyone gets to know the real me. When you start valuing your own energy, the entire world shifts. People either start treating you better or they disappear. Either way, your spirit wins. And here's the real truth. Not everyone is spiritually mature enough to sit at your table. That's okay. Don't shrink your light to fit into their shadow. Protect your aura like it's made of gold, because it is. And when you do, watch how peace begins to flow through your life like royalty entering her ring. Silence is not weakness, it's mastery. In a world that constantly screams for attention, silence is power. It is the loudest response you'll ever give without uttering a word. You see, anyone can talk. Anyone can argue. Anyone can clap back and defend themselves in chaos. But the one who chooses silence when provoked, when betrayed, when lied about, that one is the master. That one is dangerous. Because silence doesn't mean surrender, it means strategy. There's a woman who found out her closest friend had been gossiping behind her back. She didn't confront her. She didn't send a long message or start a war of words. She simply smiled, pulled back, and let her absence scream. And oh, did it scream. It screamed, I know my worth. It screamed, I'm not lowering my vibration to prove my point. That's not weakness. That's emotional royalty. Sometimes silence is the loudest no you'll ever say. When you stop engaging with people who drain you, when you choose peace over pettiness, that's not because you're soft. That's because you've evolved. Because you've realized not everything needs a response. Not everyone deserves your reaction. And not every insult is worth your energy. Reacting is instinct. Responding with silence is growth. Think of a lion. A lion doesn't roar at every barking dog. It walks with quiet authority because it knows what it carries. That's how you have to move, with quiet confidence, with the kind of power that doesn't need to prove itself. When someone tries to insult you, you stay still, they lose control. Because silence leaves them wondering. Silence haunts those who expect drama and get peace instead. That's not weakness. It's war strategy disguised as grace. There's a girl who used to argue every time her boyfriend belittled her. Every time he twisted the truth. She fought back. Until one day, she didn't. She just got quiet. She listened. She observed. She didn't raise her voice. She raised her standards. That silence, it wasn't retreat. It was the sound of her outgrowing the nonsense. And that man, he felt it. Because silence makes people confront their own echoes. You want to break someone? Don't fight them. Don't match their chaos. Let them watch you glow in silence. Let them deal with the storm they created while you move on in peace. There's something terrifying about a woman who no longer reacts. Because she's so longer triggered. She's no longer emotionally owned by anyone. She's free. Sometimes the strongest thing you can say is nothing at all. Because when your silence is intentional, it builds walls where words used to build bridges. It creates boundaries. It protects your energy. You stop wasting your breath trying to explain yourself. to people committed to misunderstanding you. You stop defending yourself. In rooms, you just walk out and let your silence close the door behind you. Let them talk. Let them assume. Let them think they've won. Meanwhile, your silence is building empires. Your silence is healing wounds. Your silence is rewriting your story. And the best part? You don't owe them a single page. Silence is not the absence of strength. It is the proof of it. It is the art of knowing. That's knowing. Knowing that you're fallen. Knowing that they know your heart. Every battle is yours to fight. Not every insult deserves a rebuttal. And not every breakup needs closure. Sometimes silence is the closure. And sometimes silence is the roar only queens can hear. And now, if you've truly heard this, not just listened, but heard it in your bones, you know this isn't just a speech. This is your new era. This is your divine permission slip to stop apologizing for walking away from what no longer feeds your soul. You are not cold. You are not rude. You are not selfish. You are healing. You are growing. You are protecting the masterpiece that is you. Because listen to me, what you allow is what will continue. You teach people how to treat you not by your words but by your silence, your standards, your boundaries, your detachment. There's nothing louder than a woman who has nothing left to prove, nothing left to explain, and everything to protect. You weren't born to be background noise in someone else's life. You weren't created to be half loved, half seen, or half understood. You are not a maybe. You are not a what if. You are a hell yes. Or you are a goodbye. That's the energy now. That's the season you're stepping into. The one where you don't beg for closure. You become the closure. Where you don't block them in anger. You let them watch you elevate in peace. And you know what? Let them wonder why you stopped reaching out. Let them feel the silence they never thought would come. Let them scroll through your pictures and see the glow they never thought you'd reclaim. Because darling, the comeback is always stronger than the setback. They thought you'd break, but you bloomed. And when they ask, what happened to her? The answer is simple. She remembered who she was. She remembered her worth. She remembered that her time is currency. Her presence is power, and her peace is priceless. She stopped lowering her crown just to fit into their kingdom and started building her own empire. Remember this. You don't have to fight for a seat at a table you were never meant to sit at. Build your own table. Bring your own chair. And if no one claps, clap for your damn self. Because the ones who couldn't love you in your rawest form never deserved you in your healed state. Let that truth baptize you. Let it burn away every last piece of the old you that used to settle. Every time you choose silence over chaos, you rise. Every time you detach without warning, you create room for better. Every time you protect your aura, you reclaim your throne. And every time you let them see you glow without needing to block them, you send a message without ever typing a word. You are not just cutting them off,